AI will not replace humans anytime soon. In fact, AI doesn't even ingest all the data that humans ingest. Even if you look at our best AI models, like GPT, like Claude, those models have been trained on a lot of text. But text is not what most humans consume in the world. We consume visual information, we consume sensations, tactile information, kinesthetic feel of our environment, things like that. AI models currently don't have any of that, so they don't actually have the picture of the world that humans do. Now, obviously, AI models can consume a very large amount of a particular type of data, and that will allow them to be better than humans at a particular type of task that requires that data to learn to do it well. So we're already seeing this with writing. Writing is something that models will be very good at. Potentially image generation or video generation is something that models will be really good at. Analyzing data in spreadsheets, maybe models will be very good at that. But it doesn't mean that they can do everything that a human can do. It will always be something well defined to a certain extent. And we saw this early on, even before AI, just in thinking, how can computers replace humans? Let's take chess as an example. In 1996, many people believed that computers cannot possibly play chess as well as a human. In 1997, Deep Blue beat Garry Kasparov in a match, and Garry Kasparov was the world champion at the time, right? And if you fast forward to 2019, not only are computers way better than humans at chess, but computers can play chess in a way that looks human now. Like, initially, they were good, but they were weird. And now they're good, and it just looks like a game you were supposed to know because it's some sort of a historic classic, but in reality, it was played by a computer yesterday. So I think we'll get to that state in many different things that computers currently can be trained with because there's enough data there, like writing. You tried writing with AI, but you tried writing with ChatGPT or with Claude or with another specific model. Those models were trained with feedback from students in various countries. ChatGPT famously used Kenya. But it's not the country that's the problem, it's the student that is the problem. Students write in a very specific way. They try to sound smart to get good grades. They try to impress the reader. And this is exactly what these models do. They write like an undergrad, using words that are too big, sentences that are too complex, and things that try to please you instead of telling you something very precise and concrete. So when I say that AI will be better than humans at writing, I don't mean ChatGPT will necessarily be better. I mean that a model that is fine-tuned on the best writing available from humans, on things that only came from Reuters, AP, New York Times, etc., can be already today fine-tuned to be better than the best human journalists in those outlets. It's not that the generalist models that everybody uses will necessarily be the best writers. They're supposed to be generalists. But models that are fine-tuned for journalism will be the best journalists. I think that machine learning is one subcategory of AI because AI basically describes any system that is meant to be intelligent or to appear intelligent. Some of those systems can be rule-based. Let's say I gave specific if-then statements to a computer program that told it what to do in every particular situation. It will appear intelligent if you test it in that situation, but it will not be able to infer things on its own if it's taken out of its comfort zone. Machine learning allows you to train a computer program the way you would teach a child. You give it inputs, it learns something from the inputs, and after that it makes its own decisions whenever it faces a certain situation, and we can't even always explain why it did a certain thing. Just like you can't explain why a child acted in a certain way. It just learns something from its previous environment. AI is the broadest category.
Okay.
You can divide AI into rule-based systems and machine learning systems.
Okay.
Within machine learning systems, you can divide it into systems that work with text, natural language processing, systems that work with images, systems that work with video, systems that work with atmospheric data, etc. Within each of these, if you look into text, for example, then we had a few different ways to implement machine learning systems that operate in natural language processing. In 2017, we invented the transformer, or specifically Google did. That was a really big advance. And then based on that transformer architecture, eventually we built the large language model, which is a transformer with more than 7 billion parameters. And GPT, which is a general purpose transformer, is the largest large language model that we have. So you can think of ChatGPT is basically a chat interface on top of a narrow example of one subset of AI.